Today, we're going to be talking about the Bible, one of the best-selling books of mankind, one of the oldest books of mankind. My name is Jay, so let's jump in. The Bible consists of 66 books, broken down between the Old and the New Testament. It was written a long time ago, and the Old Testament starts off with an author describing a creator. This creator's name is God. God creates all living things, plants, trees, animals that walk on the land, animals that fly in the air, and animals that swim in the sea. He even creates light and water. On the last day, he created us, humans, and he said it was very, very good. Take a moment to think about that today. I hope that if you get one little nugget from this video, I hope that this is it, that we are at the top of all God's created things. The Bible says that humans get to rule over everything on this earth. Unfortunately, the next part of the story takes a turn. Humans now have two choices. It's kind of like a fork in the road. At that fork, we're told there's a fruit tree. This fruit tree, God specifically says, do not eat fruit from this tree. After being deceived, we are told they ate from this tree. This decision leads to more bad decisions of evil, immorality, and then eventually the story of Babylon, where God picks up people and scatters them all over the earth. The next story in the Bible takes a turn for the better. God chooses a man named Abraham and his wife Sarah. God wanted to start a new nation, a new people, and he picked this older couple. Now the Bible says this couple was old, around 100 years of age. The Bible describes Sarah as barren, which means she has no child. God blesses them with so many descendants that are more numerous than the stars in the sky. The rest of the Old Testament is the story of this family line, which, unfortunately, has the same ending. God calls them to live a certain way in relationship, trusting, walking in faith with them daily. And they don't. Humans keep messing up. They keep sinning. They keep missing the mark and living in the dark, distant from their Creator. The beginning of the New Testament starts with a man named Jesus, who comes from the family or the line of Abraham. Jesus of Nazareth was described in 3 of the 4 Gospels for attempting to be deceived by that same deceiver that was at the fork in the road in the Old Testament. These 3 books of Matthew, Mark, and Luke describe in detail of how the deceiver attempted and failed. When Jesus was on this earth, he spoke of God's definition of good and evil. And he said real power is serving others. He told us to serve the poor and love your enemies. That's a very upside down world. The remaining of the New Testament describes and claims that Jesus is God. The New Testament explains that Jesus came to take the consequences of our evil into himself. Jesus' sacrificial love, upside down kingdom, proved to be more powerful than evil. All of humanity is faced with a choice. That same fork in the road, except instead of a fruit tree being at that fork, we now have the symbol, the cross, or the story of Jesus' life and what he did for you and me. Jesus' story and the way he lived quickly spread across the world in the New Testament. This was the beginning of the first churches. Paul wrote letters to these communities and churches to encourage them, to give them hope, and remind them that Jesus is coming back. The Bible ends with stories of evil, immorality being destroyed, and how Jesus will make all things new and right. That's the summary of the Bible. So, when you're at that fork in the road, remember Jesus' life and what he did for you. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Jay, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Let me know how I did. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.